Hello, and welcome to the Constance Messmer podcast. Thank you so much for tuning in. One of my best friends lives on the other side of the world. This always cracks me up, especially around any solstice, because the Northern Hemisphere is experiencing the shortest day and the longest night. And in the Southern Hemisphere, they're experiencing the longest day and the shortest night. This back and forth with light and dark, depending on position and perspective, allows me opportunity to notice not only what's happening in the external world, but what is happening internally for me. And always this sense of visibility of the light and darkness outside calls me and beckons me inward to notice what needs to change with my own inner lightness and my own inner darkness. That's what I want to talk to you about in today's episode. If you recall at the start of this journey, I told you that this kind of psychic spiritual development was really a call to a spiritual awakening. And I said it's not always going to be smooth and easy. I remember my own journey through studying Reiki and working with others. This whole concept of this huge deluge of light that can come in and reaching these higher realms of spirit, connecting with angels and God. When you're standing in that immense light and grace, it's very humbling. But also, too, what happens is it can be such an awakener for me to where I might be falling short in my own life. What needs to change? Whenever I bring my troubles to spirit or the pools of wisdom that we can access through this work, I always might have the gimmies. I might want certain things in my life or changes in my life, but usually when I source that information, it comes with this awareness that what am I doing, right? What is in the shadows of my darkness that is preventing me from moving forward, or what's holding me back? Because sometimes I might want things, certain things, but I'm the one holding me back from attaining them or reaching those goals or having the better relationship. Sometimes it's my darkness that is obstructing my light. Listen, I am not going to pretend or suppose that I know each of your journeys, but I do know my journey. I know that when I studied Reiki and I started in on this path of teaching spirit work, my darkness came right up in my face. And I also recognize moments throughout my day where I think, well, that wasn't very higher consciousness, divine consciousness of you, Constance, the way you said that, or the way you're acting right now. You're very much in pity-pot ego or whatnot. This is not an easy path. This whole kind of journey towards enlightenment or self-realization or divine consciousness or personal evolution. I think that some people probably, I don't know, I'm guessing, people are just on the path and they're jumping and they're just rightful action falls from them and they're able to live that experience where they are the enlightened bodhisattva walking the planet. Not me. I don't know where you are on your journey, but what I do know is for me, it's not just the moments of, I want to cry now. It's not just those moments of immersive meditation time with God, where I am so filled with the light and presence of divine consciousness or the gifted wisdom of the angels. It's not just those moments that make me weep and that I'm called to change my behavior, not because of anything God says or the angels say. It's my knowing in those spaces of light. All that light shining on me can be humbling. And I come out of those experiences at that vibration, having sustained that vibration for a while. I come out knowing in my day-to-day moments, like, oh, I could do better here. I could be kinder here. I need to be more honest here with myself and others. When you're kind of standing in all that light and then you bring that back and you're resonating with that light, you kind of notice your darkness. That's how it's been for me anyway. So there's those moments. And then there's also been those moments of like, I told you the story when I studied Reiki and past lives came up of all my darkness. In the future episode, I think I'm going to bring you through past life chakra cleansing to see if you have any darkness in your chakras that you're ready to let go of. We have free will. So I think, is it safe to say we can all make mistakes, or we can all do better, or we can all be like examine of consciousness? I think I told you the times that I'm like, oh, I got a C plus on parenting that day. And then there's those days that I'm like, yep, I'm going to get an A plus today. I'm going to shine. I'm going to do the best I can. I think this is life. And it's this dance, in my opinion. Ooh, whole body goosebumps. It's this dance of darkness and light. It's choices. It's choices. It's choices. And sometimes when we're on this spiritual path, as we are together, the darkness, you can really become aware of it as you're moving along on this journey. Like if you're feeling called to greatness, and I don't mean like necessarily standing on a stage or not, I'm calling being called to greatness in your life, the best possible you that you were born to be. Taking chances, having courage, being loving, being compassionate, being kind, but also being honest and truthful, putting your foot down, walking away when friends, family, jobs don't suit you, choices aren't suitable for you, if they're not for your highest good. The courage to walk away is important. Hey, I want to tell you about my book, Some Dogs Talk. I wrote this book to teach animal communication among the pages of non-creepy paranormal realistic fiction. And because of the content and delivery, it is equally appealing to a wide age group. I think you'll find it fun to explore and actually probably maybe see yourself in the pages. Get your copy today. It's noticing in your day-to-day moments that you are faced with darkness and light continually. I think we are, if we honestly look at our day, if we have mindful presence. And this is what happens when I've been telling you in the past, I think it would be beneficial to have a mindfulness practice, to be present enough in your body, mind, spirit, energetically, emotionally, mentally, to be so fully alive and present in your body that you don't miss when things are presented before you. When things are going wrong, don't go with them. I love that saying. When things are going wrong, don't go with them. It's so true. And so I just wanted to bring this to your awareness today. Like every day you have opportunity to choose between what do you want to put out into your world and to yourself, the blessing to yourself. This is a gift to yourself, the darkness or the light. Listen, tomorrow's a new day. The next hour is a new hour. It's opportunity to change all of these. Each month, each birthday, each year, each day, each moment, each hour. And sometimes I have to look back to say, what worked? What didn't work? What am I still unhappy about or grumpy about? And then I have to say, well, what's my part in that? I love that saying. When we would complain at home, sometimes we'd be like, I didn't eat all day. I'm so hungry. Or my day was so busy. Rah, 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 whine, whine, whine. My mother would say, well, whose fault is that? That is so true, right? Whose fault is that? And so when I look back and I think, well, where did I not kind of make strides throughout all aspects of my life, personally, professionally, whatever? Personally with myself, with my own journey, personally with others, family, friends, whatever. And then I think to what do I want different in my future? Tomorrow, the next hour, the next year, the next celebration of my birthday, next month, next season. I really have to take note of that because otherwise I can be flaky, you guys. Did I tell you this about me? I have a lot of earth signs in my astrology chart, okay? But I can really be like so floating between the two worlds that I could spend a day like just talking to God and not get anything accomplished. This would be great if I were in a convent somewhere where I was just in contemplative prayer, which would be great. But I'm a mother, a wife. I do this work and I want to accomplish some things. Maybe it's my Capricorn rising, but I want to accomplish some things so that I feel good about my journey in this life. I want to make changes and do my best to be a better person or learn from my mistakes. And I know I hate saying mistakes, but the choices, their experiences, learn from my experiences that didn't suit me, or areas that I want to have shift and notice I'm complaining more about. Well, what do I need to do to change? Where can I get the courage? And if I can't source it within myself, I'll ask God or the angels and go, can you help me with this? Or my dad, who's on the other side, Dad, help me get the courage to say what I need to say. Usually it's God. God, give me the courage to say what I need to say and give me the kind words. Help me with the kind words to say them so they can land appropriately. This is how I parlay with my darkness and light. The times when I am feeling like I need to change, but don't know how to take the first few steps, I turn and I source a lot of my information, not just for my own higher self or the pool of wisdom that's out there, but I go higher. I pray for guidance from my own angels, from my guides, depending upon what I'm working on, and definitely God. As we head into the next step of our journey together, I'm going to bring you into realms of spirit, where then you'll have opportunity to see where you might want to source for some answers. And you might be like me. You might have the gimmies. Can I get this? Can you help me do this? Can you get me a parking place? Can you help me fix my microphone that wasn't working? Because I'm supposed to do an episode. I did ask for that. And my mom was visiting. She and I prayed, and it all worked. Then all of a sudden the light came on and the microphone worked. So you might go in with the gimmies. Can you help me? Can you help me? Can you help me? But you might also be brave enough when I teach you these various sources of inspiration and places where you can hang out and commune with spirit. You might also say, what can I do for you? Or can you show me parts of myself that might be in the darkness right now, that are blocking me, that are holding me back, that I need to work on so that I might be more happy, more joyful, more at peace, less anxious, less stressed, but more in tune with myself and more aligned with my true nature and more aligned with truth and soul and spirit and my highest consciousness and divine consciousness. So I've looked into people's souls or sourced higher spirit information to feed people information from the highest knowing. And in the future, I'm going to work with you so that you can do the same, so that you can recognize what it is you need to know, where your shadows and your darkness might be holding you back, what's stopping you, what's convincing you to do otherwise when what you really want is pounding at your heart's truth. I'm hoping my future work will help guide you where you should shine your light, not just in your career and in your family, but in each moment and each day. Because I know you are far more brilliant than you let on. I know this, and you should get everything you desire. I tell you, God spoils me. I think God spoils all of us. Once you get in that wave of the vibration and the frequency that is the divine connection and higher conscious living, these glimpses, these moments of miracles feed you so wholeheartedly, you will be transformed. It's just the way it is. It's not necessarily easy. It hasn't been for me, because sometimes that light, again, shows me what I need to change. I see it in myself. Like, I don't have to hear a booming voice from anybody. Mine is not a punishing God. It's just a knowing that comes out of me after all that time in the light and all that work of trying to be my best self. When I used to do private reads, I would hold people up to the light and say to God, this is who I'm asking about. Tell me about them. And in that light, I would see what was needed for transformation to greater joy, peace, freedom, and love. So today I hold you in that light, and I wish you everything your heart desires as your future unfolds. Hey, Constance Messmer here. I just want to do a shout out of big thanks to all the members. I am so grateful. And all the people dropping in and giving little donations here and there and super thanks and all that stuff. I really appreciate you. You members and you people contributing and subscribers are what help me bring this content to everyone, really. They both contribute to the cost of production, and I am definitely grateful for that. This stuff is not cheap to put out. Oh my God. Oh my God. So every little bit helps, and I am filled with gratitude that you're stepping up. I am not necessarily a joiner, not usually, but there are environmental issues and other organizations that I do belong to and I contribute to because I like to see them persevere. And I'm hoping you feel the same about this work. I hope you put it into practice in your life. That's another way that you could spread this work and help change our world, which is what I think it ultimately does. As you know, I think if everyone tuned into their soul senses, the world would be a much better place. So when you subscribe, it's a big yes vote for the content, and it helps spread the work across the planet. So when you put the lessons into practice and subscribe and like and share, you help me help you carry the lesson beyond you and me. And I am just really grateful. Legally speaking, this podcast is presented solely for educational, spiritual, and entertainment purposes. It is not intended as a substitute for medical diagnosis, treatment, or the advice of a physician, psychotherapist, or other qualified professional. You should not use this information to diagnose or treat a health problem or condition. Always check with your doctor. Thank you.